Russia has mocked Western nations after documents related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein named several high-profile individuals. Lavrov said, and I quote, "The files have revealed the face of the West and the deep state, or rather a deep union that rules the entire West and seeks to rule the whole world. Every normal person knows this is beyond comprehension and pure Satanism." The huge trove of Epstein documents released by the US Department of Justice has sent shock waves through Europe. Prince Andrew has lost his honors, princely title, and taxpayer-funded mansion. On the other hand, former UK ambassador to Washington, Peter Mandelson, was fired and could be jailed.
Questions about the nature and extent of the relationship, whether Mandelson had stayed, as was suggested, at Epstein's premises. And the answers given to those questions were intentionally intended to create the impression that Mandelson barely knew Epstein, deliberately to create that impression. I had no reason at that stage to think that was anything other than the truth, and therefore we proceeded. I regret making the decision to have appointed him in the first place. Had I known at the time what I know now, or knew in September, I'd have never done it. And that's why today I've apologised for the fact that I appointed him in the first place and I believed his lies. I had no reason at the time to know they were lies. Subsequently, I found out them to be lies. And this week we found out way beyond the lies that we found out in September. We found out what he was up to in the aftermath of the 2008 crash, when most of the government and most of the country was doing its level best to make sure people didn't lose their jobs, their livelihoods, and their savings. And at that time, he chose to disclose sensitive secrets to Epstein, almost simultaneously as receiving them.
France's former culture minister, Jacques Lang, has resigned from the Arab World Institute in Paris after revelations over alleged past financial links to Jeffrey Epstein and the related opening of a tax investigation. Donald Trump has rejected any links to the proclaimed sex offender after his administration was forced to release more than 3 million pages of documents, along with more than 2,000 videos and 180,000 images.
A lot of women who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them, entire witness interviews are totally blacked out. Do you think that they should be more transparent?
With the fact that they thought they released too much. You know, I heard that, and you tell me something else. No, I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else. Really, you know, now that nothing came out about me, other than it was a conspiracy against me, literally by Epstein and other people. But I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
What would you say to people who feel like they haven't gotten justice, Mr. President?
Something that people care about. Yeah, what did you say? Go ahead.
What would you say to the survivors who feel like they have gotten
justice? You are
justice?
the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. You know, she's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile on your face.
I'm asking you about survivors of Jeffrey Epstein.
You know why you're not smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth. And you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you.
Elon Musk has thrown down a legal gauntlet. The tech billionaire says he is prepared to bankroll the legal defense of anyone sued for speaking out about Jeffrey Epstein or publishing his alleged client list. This after experts fear that survivors will be sued if they name the Epstein client list. The pledge, delivered publicly and without hesitation, has injected fresh volatility into a scandal that refuses to fade. Musk's offer comes as newly released U.S. Department of Justice files resurface a 2015 dinner attended by some of Silicon Valley's most powerful figures, including Musk himself and Meta chief executive Mark Zuckerberg. At the center of the renewed storm is a photograph. The image, disclosed as part of a broader tranche of Epstein-related investigative records, appears to show Musk and Zuckerberg seated at a long dining table with several guests. Epstein is not visible in the frame, but records indicate the photograph was emailed by Epstein to himself in August 2015, raising questions about who was behind the camera. The dinner itself is not new information. Vanity Fair reported on the gathering in 2019, describing it as an event hosted in Palo Alto by LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman in honor of MIT neuroscientist Ed Boyden. But the release of official Justice Department materials, including emails referencing the evening, has reignited scrutiny. In one email from that month, Epstein wrote that he had dinner with Zuckerberg, Musk, Thiel, Hoffman, and Wild, also naming Palantir chairman Peter Thiel. Not all those mentioned appear in the released photograph, which shows 9 people seated around the table. The resurfacing of these records has revived a familiar question. How did Epstein cultivate relationships with so many influential figures in technology, finance, and academia? Representatives for Meta have pointed back to statements first issued years ago, maintaining that Zuckerberg met Epstein only in passing one time at the 2015 dinner and did not communicate with him afterward. According to those earlier comments, the event was not organized by Epstein, and there was no ongoing relationship. Musk's own previous remarks have also re-entered the public conversation. In correspondence cited in 2019, he described Epstein as obviously a creep and denied having a close relationship with him. Musk confirmed he once met Epstein at his house, but said he did not know him well enough to introduce him to Zuckerberg. The newly disclosed files also include a follow-up email from Reid Hoffman with the subject line "Intros," referencing email connections from the dinner so that conversations could continue. The exchange has prompted renewed analysis of who was connected to whom and to what extent. Now, Musk's pledge to fund legal defense for those speaking about Epstein adds a dramatic new layer. Supporters argue the move signals a commitment to transparency and free expression, particularly in the face of potential defamation lawsuits tied to discussions about Epstein's alleged associates. Critics counter that the renewed spotlight underscores how even limited contact with Epstein continues to generate reputational fallout years later. Musk's legal pledge may intensify that narrative further. By offering financial backing to those willing to speak or publish, he has positioned himself at the center of a renewed transparency debate, one that intersects with free speech, reputational risk, and unresolved public curiosity.